Picture.
You lie so
It didn't
much.
work that time. Okay, Scott, introduce.
Hello, Internet!
What, we have to do it in unison.
Oh, right, in unison. 1, 2, 3.
Hello,
Internet!
Internet!
That's the way we introduce ourselves. Welcome to another edition of Drunk Chicago History.
This time including alcohol.
A little J. Marsh production. Today we have... Jim, the carriage driver.
Julie Marshall!
Julie Marshall as a 1920s voting rights... Suffragette.
Because I'm a woman.
Yes, and me, Scott M Priz, drunk historian of Chicago. I was appointed by Mar Daly. That's how you pronounce it, you know.
Mayor. The
Mar.
word is mayor. And today we're talking about the riots of 1893.
No! Right? There were no riots then.
1993.
We're doing the election, the council wars of 1983. The race riots of
1880?
No, 1919 were the race riots.
Should we start again?
No.
We've got some puppets as well, so it stars Jane Byrne.
The Monopoly guy.
He's not in this. Fast Eddie. Ooh.
Can we please?
Slow Eddie.
Again.
And young Richie Daly. And guest and the star of the show, Harold Washington.
Because we didn't have any black puppets.
We've got an exciting
rules.
show for you. We're going to tell you this history. They're one of the great stories of Chicago history. The Council Wars of 1983.
You should
Where
hand me that.
in 29 entirely white aldermen waged war against the first black mayor of Chicago and destroyed their city in their quest to defeat Harold Washington. But they failed, as you will learn. Is that right, Jim?
You're escalating
No.
me out of the way that I think the history begins.
Right. We should start,
Alright, I got this.
Start at the beginning.
Okay, so in 1983...
Yes. Right date.
with
How many
the-
years before you were born is that?
We're not going to talk about that right now.
I was 1.5.
Okay, so Harold Washington Library ran for mayor.
It wasn't a library yet. He ran for mayor because young Jane Byrne was a terrible mayor.
Oh, we have a puppet of her.
And she angered everyone, including young Richie Daly.
Here, you have to hold this.
And they ran in a contested primary which split the white ethnic vote of Chicago. And Harold Washington won the entirety of the African-American vote, winning a plurality, that's a fancy word, of the primary vote of
Yes, we
34% to 32 to 30. That doesn't add up to 100, though. That's not important.
We're not going to talk about that.
In the general election, he faced down a non-racist man by the name of Bernie Empton, who allied himself with racists, like Fast Eddie.
Satan!
His campaign slogan wasn't this, but it became known as this.
We're getting it complicated again.
Right, before it's too
Okay,
late.
no, stick with it again. Okay, so Harold Washington Library ran for president of Chicago,
And he
won.
wins.
The problem is shit wasn't getting done. Because why? Racism. I simplified it.
You did, really. So there's 29 non-reform aldermen, led by Slow Eddie and Fast Eddie. They were known creatively as
Medium speed Eddie?
the Eddies. And they formed a block of votes, known as what I'm going to classify as the White 29 Racists. That's what they call
Is that a
themselves.
thing you're making
It
up,
was
or is
different.
that...
It was different times back then. You could actually win votes by calling yourself the racist party.
Okay, we're escalating again. Jim, you take it.
So the city council decides that they couldn't win an election. So what they're going to do is actually very similar to what the Republican Party tried to do this year,
We have an Obama poster.
which is take their ball and run home with it. So they just stopped doing anything.
Holy shit, he's right.
You know that.
What an amazing analogy.
They block all of his appointments, all of it. He appoints people to his cabinet. They say no. There shall be no head of streets and sanitation. Have you?
Derail this again.
He then tries to pass laws, and they just don't do anything. At one point, Harold Washington angrily
No, the wine.
disadjourns the city council. He says we're done today, and one of the white racist 29 party members
Satan. Wait, I thought that was fast/slow Eddie.
working
The
there.
puppets was a bad choice.
They grab the gavel and they say the council is re-adjourned. We have a majority, and they do 29 votes. And so they begin passing all sorts of crazy laws. They have their own debt ceiling crisis, in which Chicago was going to default on its debt unless Harold Washington...
I'm confused. Wait, Jim, simplify this again.
Yeah.
The 29 racists have enough votes to basically control the city council.
They can't overcome the veto, though.
He has the talking puppet.
Where's my wine? My wine.
Talking puppet.
So the 29 are basically able to pass any laws they want.
Okay.
However, Harold Washington, the mayor, is able to veto laws he doesn't like. So you end up with this crisis because, similar to the U.S. government, as we just experienced, Chicago has to pass laws in order to actually pay off its debts.
And so the nation's press declared it the Council Wars
Of 1993. 83. Hitting Satan with the Black Man book. And then you see what happened was Harold Washington Library got reelected thanks to... Guys, where'd my hat go?
Oh, it's over here. And the federal judiciary eventually declares that, yes, these war boundaries have been drawn in a racist manner.
I'll sum up.
I haven't lost the internet. That's the important part,
Harold
right?
Washington went to federal judges
Oh.
and argued that the 29 white racists had essentially engineered the...
I'm still in the city council.
the
Puppets were a bad choice.
judges agreed and decided to redistrict or redraw the boundaries around how the wards are made.
And so new elections were held, and Harold Washington won them. He, in fact, got 25 aldermen, half the city council out of 50. And so he could pass laws to those 21, and as the mayor, cast the tie-breaking vote and get shit done.
Bitches get shit done.
And even though the Washington administration was occasionally plagued with scandal,
Blamed is a word, yes.
he was at times his own sort of machine alderman, and he appointed people that accepted bribes, though Washington was honest, mostly. The city of Chicago finally liked him. And in 1987, there was another election for both the city council and the mayorship. And Fast Eddie...
Puppets were a bad choice.
They were a good choice. It's little J. Marsh.
Focus, 87,
1987, Harold Washington crushes everyone, including Fast Eddie, who runs in his Solidarity Party and is never heard from again in
Solidarity
Chicago.
being a euphemism for racism.
Anyway, Washington wins! And he crushes everyone. And finally, it looks like the reformers of Chicago are going to win. But before we started this, Julie, what did I say the moral of this story was?
Good guys don't win.
That's right, Julie Marshall.
I thought it was power corrupts.
Shut up, Jim.
Good guys don't win in Chicago. He wins election in early 1987. April, whatever the fuck we have elections. And unfortunately, the man liked his food. And he has 500 cheeseburgers too many. And has a heart attack in November and dies.
Small clarification, it wasn't 500 cheeseburgers at once. Scott is talking about the accumulation of a life's worth of cheeseburgers.
I actually got that for once.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be sure.
The Eddies have an idea, and they appoint a black machine alderman to split the Washington Coalition, which was made up of African Americans and white liberals.
So they got a robot to...
A robot named Eugene Sawyer was his name, and he split, but he was a weak and powerless mayor.
No, he wasn't a robot. He was a black alderman.
Who died.
Sawyer.
Why was he a machine?
He worked for the machine.
When Scott says the machine, he's referring to the Chicago politics machine.
Oh, he's ending this with puppets somehow. I bet you money.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we close out this edition of Chicago with this reminder.
1983.
Good guys do not win in this town. If you have morals, if you have purity of soul and essence, retreat to whatever small town you came from and become some sort of small councilor of revenues. Chicago has no place for you.
It's true, that's why I do so well.
For you will be crushed by men like Slow Eddie Burke.
I said the puppets were a bad choice.
They were a good choice.
Cheers.
And here's the history.